When disaster strikes, a local jurisdiction may issue population protection orders to shelter in place or evacuate from hazardous conditions. Evacuations range from short-distance, temporary relocations of a few individuals to the widespread displacement of multiple communities. Wide-scale evacuations can create traffic management and fuel availability issues. Evacuees often bring pets and personal effects. Some evacuees may be medical patients, people with disabilities, or individuals who need critical transportation assistance to evacuate. To help manage such situations, the Texas Division of Emergency Management Critical Information Systems Section, or CIS, developed the Texas Emergency Tracking Network, or Texas ETN, mobile application to support emergency managers during such incidents. Texas ETN manages critical information, facilitates critical information exchange, and maintains accountability of evacuees, evacuee groups, pets, service animals, evacuee medical equipment, and state-supplied vehicles throughout the evacuation and repopulation process. Using a wristband or tag, Texas ETN allows state or local jurisdictions to track individual evacuees and groups of evacuees transported on state-provided buses or locally supplied vehicles from one location to another throughout the evacuation and repopulation life cycle. This video provides local jurisdictions, state agencies, and other stakeholders with an introduction to using the Texas ETN mobile application during evacuation, sheltering, and repopulation operations. The Texas ETN mobile application allows users to enter evacuee information, scan wristbands or IDs, enter vehicle or location information, and create rosters and manifests. Users do all this using their phone or tablet to enter information, as well as scan information using their device's camera. Texas ETN is deployed using iOS and Android devices and can be downloaded via the Apple App Store and Google Play. Further, Texas ETN is designed for use during large state-level incidents as well as during local and regional incidents, including mass casualty incidents. Jurisdictions that want to use Texas ETN for a local incident should work with the Texas Division of Emergency Management Critical Information Systems support staff to activate an account for their incident. CIS can be reached at 512-424-5333. If support is needed during non-business hours, select the option for on-call from the voice message of the support line, which is available 24/7, or by email at support@soc.texas.gov. Users sign in to the Texas ETN mobile application using their WebEOC credentials. Users enter their WebEOC account information, choose the WebEOC server on which they have an account, and choose the incident name. Every person who conducts Texas ETN scanning must have a WebEOC account. Anyone with a WebEOC account who can log on to a WebEOC server connected to the Texas Fusion server can use Texas ETN. When signing into the Texas ETN mobile application for the first time, users may be asked for permission for the application to access the device's location, if the device is capable of geolocation. If allowed location access, Texas ETN will automatically update the county in which the user is conducting ETN operations. If the user chooses to deny Texas ETN access to the device's location, the user will be prompted to manually enter the county in which they are conducting Texas ETN operations. This provides a filtered view of the locations and vehicles already created within Texas ETN for that county. If the user needs to update the county they are located in, they simply select the filter icon at the top of the screen, and then select the Show Filter Options button. The drop-down menu will appear, and the user can select a different county. Selecting the Search button also allows the user to search for location or vehicle names that have been created in Texas ETN in the selected county by typing the name of the location or vehicle in the search field. Texas ETN mobile users must use a scan key to scan information, such as driver's licenses and barcodes, into the Texas ETN mobile application. Without a scan key, a user is not allowed to scan in Texas ETN. To check whether an account has a scan key, the user clicks the menu button, then clicks Settings, then clicks on Scanning Status. If the status says No Scan Key, the account is not authorized to scan. Users can request a scan key by clicking the keyboard button in the top right of the screen, then clicking the Request Key button. If the status says In Use, then the user has authorization to scan. If the status says Refresh Key, the scan key request is being processed. Before scanning at incident locations begins, the jurisdiction may want to choose a Texas ETN lead to initiate and oversee the scanning process. The Texas ETN lead creates each incident location and each vehicle in Texas ETN. The jurisdiction's Texas ETN lead may also be a point of contact for sourcing the jurisdiction's scanning supplies, such as placards and wristbands. For each incident location or vehicle at which scanning will occur, a corresponding location or vehicle must be created in Texas ETN first. Each incident location or vehicle should be created only once in Texas ETN to avoid duplication and confusion. Once created, Texas ETN locations and vehicles cannot be deleted from Texas ETN. To create a location in the Texas ETN mobile application, users go to Places and click Add Location at the bottom of the screen. If the location has a predetermined barcode, users can scan the barcode into the UPC field. You'll notice a keyboard icon at the top right-hand side of the screen. This indicates your choice to manually input the information into the fields. To be able to scan a barcode, click on this keyboard icon, then select Camera. You will see the other icons on that page change to the camera icon. You are now able to scan barcodes using the device's camera by clicking on the camera icon next to the UPC field. When you change this setting, it will apply to the other pages where scanning a barcode is possible. Once you have scanned the barcode, all other information for that location is entered manually. If there is not a predetermined barcode, then one can be generated automatically by clicking the barcode icon. Users can click the Set as My Location button to make this location the default location for all scanning. When all information for that location has been filled in, users click the Save button, where they will have the option to save the location or print a location placard. The new location will still be saved in Texas ETN after its placard is printed. Examples of locations that can be added in Texas ETN include Embarkation Point, Reception Center, General Population Shelter, Medical Shelter, Hospital, or Discharged. The discharged location will be discussed in more detail later on. Remember, once a location is created in Texas ETN, it cannot be deleted. Make sure to check the Places screen prior to creating a location to be certain that your location has not already been created. Users follow a similar process to add transportation vehicles to Texas ETN. Click the Add Vehicle button on the Places screen. As with locations, each vehicle should be created only once in Texas ETN. Users can verify whether or not a vehicle has been added to Texas ETN. They do this by clicking on the menu button and then Places. This will display the vehicles and locations already created in Texas ETN. If the vehicle has a predetermined barcode, users can scan the barcode into the UPC field. If there is no predetermined barcode, then one can be automatically assigned by clicking the barcode icon. All other information for that vehicle is entered manually. Then click Save. Barcode placards can be printed from the app once the Save button is selected. Examples of vehicles that can be created in Texas ETN include ambulance, ambus, coach, school, air, reentry bus, or train. Remember, once a vehicle is created in Texas ETN, it cannot be deleted. Make sure to check the Places screen prior to creating a vehicle to be certain that your vehicle has not already been created. Scanners have the option of using a wizard to help guide the process of scanning. To activate this wizard, select the menu, then Setting, and then People Page Settings. In this view, the scanner can choose to activate the wizard, FNSS fields, optional fields, and the alternate UPC field. To start scanning evacuees as they leave an affected area, users click on the menu button, then Add People. Users are presented with two options: Add New People and Update Registered People. We will discuss updating registered people later. Select Add New People and scan or enter the barcode on the wristband. To scan an ID, users press the Scan button next to the driver's license field. Then users scan the barcode on the back of the evacuee's ID. After scanning the ID, users should verify the scan by matching the Texas ETN information with the information on the ID. If the evacuee is a group leader, then select the Retain Group Leader Information checkbox. A group leader is identified as the head of a household, family, or group that is evacuating. Family or group members can be associated with a group leader. This allows all family or group members to be visible on each group member's information page. By choosing Retain Group Leader Information, users associate the group leader's information with that of the next person scanned. We'll discuss registering group members after this next section. The user will then need to select the location or vehicle where the evacuee is currently located. As mentioned earlier, this location can be preset as a default location by clicking the Set as My Location option on that location's information screen. Next, users enter or modify the evacuee's name, date of birth, and phone number, and any other fields. Comments can be added to the Notes field, and if the location notification is checked, the comments will be alerted to the scanner every time they are scanned into a location. In addition to scanning evacuees' driver's licenses and typing in their information, there is an option for the jurisdiction to set up pre-registration. By going to the location through the WebEOC ETN board and clicking on the details, the jurisdiction can select the pre-registration button and post this on the wall in the registration lines. The evacuee will need to have a device capable of scanning a QR code and will be able to scan the code and enter his or her information into the form. At the end, the user will be presented with a pre-registration barcode, which the evacuee will show to the scanner. The scanner will need to select the Update Registered People button and then scan the barcode presented by the evacuee. The information fields filled out by the evacuee will automatically update once that barcode is scanned. They will need to then scan the barcode of the band and follow the previous steps for adding evacuees. After entering an evacuee's information and clicking the Save button, users can add pets and assets that are traveling with the evacuee so they can stay together. Users click the Add Asset/Pet button and complete the information fields. Users can click the Scan button and scan or type in the UPC code number or Texas ETN tag that is on the pet or asset. Next, users click Save and add any additional pets or assets that should be associated with the evacuee. Once completed, users click Return to save all the information associated with the evacuee in the Texas ETN mobile application. Remember that once a person, asset, pet, location, or vehicle is registered to Texas ETN, it cannot be deleted by the user. Users should contact the CIS Help Desk for assistance with removal of those items from Texas ETN. After a group leader is registered into Texas ETN, along with their pets or assets, other members of their group can now be scanned. If an evacuee does not have a form of identification that can be scanned into Texas ETN, this evacuee information sheet is provided. The evacuee information sheet is available in both English and Spanish. Evacuees fill out the information fields for themselves or for members of their group. Once the group leader's information is registered into Texas ETN, the user then manually enters the information of each group member and associates each one with a wristband. As each group member is entered into Texas ETN, the group leader's wristband information is associated with each one. Once all the members of that group have been registered into Texas ETN, the user selects the Clear Retain Fields checkbox. This will clear all of the information fields, and the user can now scan the next evacuee. We've seen how Texas ETN mobile application users register and scan evacuees, pets, and assets to Texas ETN locations and vehicles. We also know that as part of the evacuation and repopulation life cycle, evacuees and associated pets or assets move from location to location and vehicle to vehicle. Group scanning options can be reviewed and set by clicking the menu Settings, then Group Scan Settings. Here you have the option to turn the wizard on or off, as well as set the check-in, check-out settings. The default setting should be auto check-in. To scan an evacuee, pet, or asset into a new location or vehicle, users click on the menu button, then Group Scan to Location. Remember that a wizard can be turned on to break the steps up into different pages. Step 1 is optional. If the group is being scanned from a vehicle, you select Step 1. Then select the vehicle, its current location and status, and update. If Step 1 is filled out, then the location should be auto-selected. If Step 1 was skipped, then a location will need to be selected. Bands can now be scanned into that location. If Auto Check-In On, or if Manually Selecting Check-In is selected, then a warning will be listed if the band scanned already exists in the location you are scanning into, disallowing bands to be scanned into the same location twice. If someone or something was accidentally scanned multiple times or mistakenly scanned into the location, the entry can be removed from the list. To remove an evacuee, pet, or asset record from the location or vehicle, users select the record and click the trash can icon. Remember, this does not delete the record from Texas ETN, but only removes them from the list to be moved to a location or vehicle. Once completed, the user should select the Save button. If scanning into a vehicle, the user will be prompted to change the vehicle's status after scanning. A roster is simply a list of evacuees, pets, and assets that have been scanned to a given location or on a given vehicle. Users can view a location or vehicle roster by choosing Menu and then Places. From the list of locations and vehicles, users make a selection and then click Roster to view the evacuees, pets, and assets that have been scanned to that location or vehicle. Users can select to see only people or assets/pets or all. Users can then click the Print button to print or download a manifest created from the roster, or the PDF button to save it as a PDF to the device. The status of a vehicle can be updated throughout the evacuation and repopulation life cycle. Users go to the Places screen, choose a vehicle, and click Edit. When the drop-down menu appears, the user chooses the appropriate status: en route, loading, out of service, received, or staged. Additionally, the vehicle's destination should be entered in the Location field prior to departure. As previously mentioned, this is also accomplished by utilizing the wizard during the group scanning process. When evacuees return home or no longer require tracking assistance, they will need to be scanned one last time. A location should be created with the type selected as Discharged from the drop-down menu. All evacuees that are leaving the evacuation process can be scanned into this location to signify they are no longer being tracked. Additional tracking information is available through the web-based WebEOC Texas ETN board. The Texas ETN board is designed to allow easy access to overall evacuee numbers, shelters and locations, and tracking of vehicles. It provides an easy-to-read dashboard of Texas ETN operations, including lists of vehicles, locations, and evacuees. More information about the Texas ETN board on WebEOC is available from your WebEOC administrator. Now let's walk through a brief example of how to use the Texas ETN mobile application during an evacuation. Remember, it is up to each jurisdiction to manage its population evacuation, repopulation, and Texas ETN process as it sees fit. This is only an example. To begin, the Embarkation Hub jurisdiction's appointed Texas ETN leader creates the Embarkation Hub and evacuation vehicles in the Places screen in Texas ETN. Meanwhile, at the sheltering jurisdiction, their Texas ETN leader creates the shelter location in the Places screen in the Texas ETN mobile application. As evacuees arrive at the Embarkation Hub, they are registered and scanned in along with pets and assets. Family members and dependents are scanned with their group leader. The Embarkation Hub is entered as the location. Later, as the evacuees prepare to board the evacuation bus, the bus information is entered into the Texas ETN mobile application. Users select Group Scan to Location. Then the user scans the barcode or selects the given bus from the drop-down menu and selects the proper status. Next, the wristbands or tags of each evacuee and any associated pets or assets are scanned as they board the bus. When boarding is complete, the user clicks Save to save the information. The user then sets the new destination and status of the bus in the final step of the group to scan. Under Places, the user can choose the given bus and click Roster to see the list of evacuees, pets, and other assets on that bus. By clicking the Print icon, the user creates a hard copy manifest. Once the bus has made it to its destination, evacuees, along with pets and assets, leave the bus and move to the shelter. At the shelter entry, Texas ETN users scan in evacuees, pets, and assets by selecting Group Scan to Location and choosing the option to receive from a vehicle. The user then sets the vehicle's status and location by selecting the shelter and then scanning each evacuee, pet, and asset. When the repopulation process begins, Texas ETN users can rely on the Texas ETN mobile application to assist with the repopulation of evacuees following predetermined jurisdictional procedures.